There are foods that just can actually automatically boost our immune system by themselves. One of them is mango. I love mangoes. They're juicy, sweet, filled with fiber. They got lots of vitamins, and they also have bioactives. And I call them mango, by the way, mangoes and stone fruit grand slammers of foods. These are foods, a whole table of foods I have in my book that all activate all five defense systems at the same time, including the immune system. So you can slam it out of the park by eating these foods. Mango is one of my favorites. Tasty, juicy, sweet. You get vitamins, good minerals, and it actually contains these natural bioactives that actually can help boost your immune system.
When you hear the phrase, health wisdom, what comes to mind? For many people, it's a doctor who truly sees food as more than fuel. Someone who understands that what we put on our plates can either harm or heal us. That's exactly what Dr. William Li represents. He's a world-renowned physician, scientist, and best-selling author who has dedicated his career to researching how the foods we eat can activate the body's own defense systems. His work focuses on 5 key health systems: angiogenesis, regeneration, the microbiome, DNA protection, and immunity. Through these systems, Dr. Li has shown that certain foods can actually help starve cancer cells, protect our genes, and promote healing from the inside out. In today's video, we are going to share the story of Greg, who is now 84 years old. Greg is not a celebrity or a scientist. He's a retired high school principal from a small town who found a way to use Dr. Li's guidance to transform his health. And yes, it all started with fruit. Not exotic, hard-to-find superfoods, but simple, fresh, delicious fruits that you probably have in your kitchen right now. By making these fruits a daily habit, Greg was able to support his body's natural healing abilities and fight back against the disease that tried to take his life. Before we dive into Greg's journey, take a quick second to like this video if you enjoy stories that inspire you to take charge of your health. And if you've ever used food as medicine in your own life, we would love to hear about it in the comments. Share your story, it might just help someone else. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video with someone you care about. We are building a community here, one conversation at a time. So, back to Greg. He had been through a lot by the time he reached his early 80s. He had always eaten what most people would call a pretty average diet, some vegetables here and there, the occasional fruit, and like many of us, a bit too much sugar and processed food over the years. He was active and mentally sharp, but a few years ago, he was diagnosed with early-stage prostate cancer. It shook him to the core. And while his doctors offered him treatment options, Greg felt like something was missing. He wanted to do everything in his power to support his body. That's when a friend gave him a copy of one of Dr. William Li's books. Greg described it like a light bulb going off. He read about how the body has its own natural mechanisms for defending itself, and how food can either support or sabotage those mechanisms. One section in particular jumped out at him: fruits. Dr. Li explained that many fruits contain natural compounds that can cut off the blood supply to cancer cells, reduce inflammation, boost immunity, and even help repair damaged DNA. It wasn't just about avoiding harmful foods, it was about adding in the right ones. And that shift in mindset made all the difference. So Greg got started. He didn't overhaul his diet overnight or make things complicated. He simply began by eating a mix of berries every single morning. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and strawberries, all organic when possible. Dr. Li has highlighted the power of berries again and again. They are rich in natural chemicals like ellagic acid and anthocyanins that help slow cancer growth and support the body's healing systems. Greg liked to mix them into plain yogurt or oatmeal with a sprinkle of ground flaxseed, another food rich in omega-3s that Dr. Li praises for its anti-inflammatory effects. Over time, he also started freezing berries in individual portions to make them even easier to grab in the morning. Sometimes he would blend them into a smoothie with unsweetened almond milk, half a banana, and a scoop of plant-based protein powder. Other days, he just added them on top of chia pudding he prepped the night before. The variety kept things fun and helped him stay consistent. He said the vibrant colors and fresh taste became something he genuinely looked forward to. It didn't feel like a diet, it felt like a treat. And that shift in mindset made all the difference in staying committed for the long haul. As Greg built this new morning ritual, he noticed something surprising. Not only did he feel more energetic throughout the day, but his digestion improved and his sleep got deeper. Small changes that felt big. That motivated him to keep going. He added apples to his lunches, especially green apples, which Dr. Lee often mentions for their fiber and flavonoid content. The tartness grew on him, and he loved slicing them thin and sprinkling on a touch of cinnamon. Sometimes he would dip them in almond butter for a more filling snack. On days when he had a little more time, he would dice up the apples and cook them with a dash of water and spices like cloves and nutmeg for a warm, comforting side dish. This simple stewed apple dish became one of his favorite ways to wind down lunch. Occasionally, he even tossed the slices into a spinach salad with walnuts, cranberries, and a splash of balsamic vinegar. It turned something ordinary into something nourishing and enjoyable. Greg shared that eating this way reminded him of how food used to be simple, satisfying, and full of purpose. The small effort brought back a sense of joy and control that he hadn't felt in a long time. Then came pomegranates. Now, if you've ever opened a pomegranate, you know it's a bit of a process. But Greg came to love it. The juicy seeds, or arils, burst with flavor and are incredibly rich in polyphenols. Dr. Lee's research has shown that pomegranate juice can help suppress the growth of hormone-related cancers, including prostate and breast cancer. Greg started having half a glass of unsweetened pomegranate juice a few times a week, or tossing the seeds into a salad with arugula and walnuts. Mangoes, kiwi, and citrus fruits became part of the rotation too. Dr. Lee points out that kiwi is especially high in vitamin C and has a unique compound that helps protect DNA. Greg said he never thought much about DNA before, but now he was thinking of it like the blueprint of his health, something worth protecting. He would peel a kiwi and eat it with a spoon like a little dessert after dinner. As for citrus, he leaned into grapefruit and oranges, especially red and pink varieties, which contain lycopene, a compound also found in tomatoes that has been linked to cancer protection. Of course, Greg didn't just rely on fruit. Inspired by Dr. Lee's broader teachings, he also increased his intake of leafy greens, beans, mushrooms, and teas. But fruit was his anchor. It was enjoyable, colorful, and easy to share with friends or his grandkids. Over time, these small, consistent choices created big changes. At his next checkup, his doctor told him the cancer was stable, and his blood work looked better than it had in years. He wasn't claiming food cured him, but he felt more in control of his health than ever before. Now, you might be wondering what makes these fruits so powerful. It all comes down to what Dr. Lee calls the body's defense systems. Fruits activate these systems in a way that helps the body protect itself from abnormal cell growth. For example, berries and pomegranates are potent when it comes to angiogenesis, the process of blood vessel formation. Cancer cells need new blood vessels to grow. By eating foods that naturally slow that process, you're making it harder for those cells to thrive. Other fruits, like kiwi and citrus, help reduce oxidative stress and inflammation, to things that fuel many chronic diseases. And here's something really empowering. You do not need to wait until you're sick to benefit from this approach. Greg's story is inspiring because it shows that it's never too late, but it's also a reminder that small steps taken today can shape your future health. So let me ask you, what fruits are already in your kitchen right now? What's one thing you can add to your next meal that supports your body's natural defenses? Maybe it's as simple as throwing some frozen blueberries into your smoothie, or slicing up an orange for a midday snack. Dr. William Li reminds us that healing is not about restriction. It's about abundance. Filling your plate with foods that taste good and do good. His approach doesn't rely on extreme diets or counting every calorie. It's about learning to eat with intention, about seeing your food as a daily act of self-care. And honestly, isn't that something we all deserve? So, whether you're facing a health challenge or simply want to feel better, remember that every bite is a chance to support your body. Greg's journey is a beautiful example of what can happen when you treat food as a partner in your wellness. He didn't have to become an expert or give up everything he loved. He just chose to build his meals around foods that nourish, protect, and energize. And you can do that too. Start where you are. Pick 1 or 2 fruits that you enjoy and make them a regular part of your day. Maybe share this video with someone who needs a little nudge to do the same. Maybe you and a friend can challenge each other to eat 1 cancer-fighting fruit every day for a week. Use food as a way to connect not just with your body, but with others. If this video spoke to you, please take a moment to like it, leave a comment with your favorite health-supporting fruit, and subscribe so you don't miss the next story we share. And if you know someone who could benefit from Dr. Li's health wisdom, please share this video with them. Together, we are building a community that values real stories, practical guidance, and the incredible healing power of food. Thank you for being here. Keep choosing foods that love you back. Keep learning. And most importantly, keep sharing your journey.